What's up, NFL fans? Today I'm doing my personal mock draft 2.0. So about a week ago I did my first ever mock draft in football because I've only been like a big NFL fan for the past 2-3 years. So that was my first ever one. And now I'm doing a 2.0. And tomorrow actually I will be doing a live stream where I do all 7 rounds. So I guess technically that'll be my 3.0. But for today it'll just be my second iteration of who I think everyone's going to get in the first round only. So starting off here, we have the Raiders. Obviously, pretty easy who they're going to take, Fernando Mendoza. Now for the Jets, it gets a little bit more difficult. You know, they brought in Geno Smith in this offseason for QB. I think he'll be fine. I think the Jets know, and so does everyone else, they're not looking for a Super Bowl or anything. But I definitely think a player that they could keep for a while, that would be good. That'll get better as well. It is definitely Alvaro Reese. You can put him everywhere on the defense. I made a video earlier today talking about the impact that he could have on any team. So I think that's a great pick for them. Alvaro Reese at the 2. Now for the Cardinals, I've heard they're very high on Jeremiah Love, but I am not convinced that they will take him or really need him. Yes, they would 100% benefit from getting him with James Conner in the backfield, and both of them would be great. But I think their best pick would definitely be maybe David Bailey or Sonny Styles here. Looks like they need a linebacker, so I'm going to have them taking Sonny Styles here at the 3. So there's 2 Ohio State guys in a row. Now for the Titans, this is very easy for me. They're taking Jeremiah Love if he's there. Jeremiah Love and Cam Ward. That would be a good young duo to have. And you would be happy if you're a Titans fan. Now for the Giants, they recently traded Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals for their 10th overall pick. So they have picks 5 and 10 in the first round, which is really, really good. And with that, they could use a lot of guys here. But I don't think they will immediately go for their wide receiver. I think that's what they'll use their 10th pick for. So I'm going to have them taking David Bailey here. Now the Browns, I know they're super high on one guy in particular. It's Carno Tate. They need a guy. Jerry Jeudy definitely did not perform as well as he should have last year. And they're really high on him from reports that I've heard. So if he's there, they are 100% taking him. I'm very confident in that. Now for the Commanders, they could go a lot of directions here. But they have a really old side defense. There's a lot of veteran players who obviously aren't as fast because of their age. So I could see them taking Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, Mansour Delane. But definitely the guy that I would take if I was them would definitely be Caleb Downs. Just a super young, I think the most NFL ready player in the draft. He's just so knowledgeable about the game, and he's just a great pick for them. Now for the Saints, D-line linebacker, all that good stuff. Definitely another receiver to pair along with Chris Olave would be nice for them. But I think they'll take Mansour Lane or maybe Ruben Bain here. And I think they'll take Ruben Bain here with the best remaining front defensive line player. Now for the Chiefs, they recently lost their guy Trent McDuffie to the Rams. So I believe if he's there, they will take Mansour Lane. That's pretty easy for me. Also, I think go either way with the Saints and Chiefs. Either the Chiefs will take Ruben Bain and the Saints will take Mansour Lane, or the opposite. But for this one, I'm going to have the Chiefs taking Mansour Lane here. Now for the Giants, I just had them pick David Bailey, and this is where they're going to get their wide receiver, and that is definitely going to be Jordan Tyson. He is easily the best receiver in this draft, just route-wise and fastness-wise and ball handling skills-wise. He's just such a great and talented receiver. I could see him easily being Rookie of the Year with how he plays. Now, there's concerns with his injury history, but honestly, when he's healthy, he's probably the best receiver in this draft, other than maybe Carno Tate. Now for the Dolphins, wide receiver, guard, DB, they could use all those good things. But I see them taking Dylan Thieneman here, if he's there, of course, or Gerard McCoy. But Dylan Thieneman, they need a DB. He was one of the most dominant safeties at Oregon during that time. Now for the Cowboys here, this is a pretty easy pick for me. They need a cornerback, Gerard McCoy, to the Cowboys for pick 12. The Rams, they could go a lot of ways here. They need a tackle. They need a guy like Kenny Sadiq. They could use another linebacker. But if Francis is there, I definitely see them taking him. I don't know if he'll be here. He might be taken further back with the Browns. They could swap those potentially. Now, for pick 14 for the Ravens, I'm a Ravens fan, so in terms of stuff that we need, we could use receiver, center, guard, linebacker. But I'm going for the safest pick in the draft, and probably the best pick at guard in the draft, and that's Vega Ioane. He's just such a dominant guard. I think I had us taking him in my first mock draft. That's just because I'm really high on him, and I really hope that we get him in the first round. But we'll see what happens. Now for the Buccaneers, this is such an easy pick for me. That kind of weak-sided tight end room with K. Dalton and someone else I can't even name. So Kenyon Sadiq is a big pick for them. With them losing Mike Evans as well, they need another playmaker, and he's easily that guy. He could line up as a wide receiver and do anything that a receiver can, in my opinion. Now for the Jets, I'd take Arvo Reese. They could still use a wide receiver. They could still use an edge, a cornerback. And I think someone like Evian Terrell would do good for them here. Maybe Omar Cooper to line up with Garrett Wilson on the other side. So yeah, I think Evian Terrell is their best pick here. For the Lions, this is pretty easy. This just feels like a Lions pick. Monroe Freeling. It just feels like he would be a Lion. I don't know why. To me, it just feels like that. Now for the Vikings here at pick 18, it's got to be Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. He's just the other really good safety with Daniel Thieneman. There's only, like, in my opinion, 3 good safeties, and it's Downs, Thieneman, and McNeil-Warren here. So they definitely got to take him if he's there. Now for the Panthers, they could also use a lot of good guys. Omar Cooper would definitely help them out a lot. A tight end would help them. I definitely think Kenyon Sadiq could go to the Panthers if he's not picked up by the Bucks, but I don't know. They could take Cade McDonald here, and I think that's what they'll do. Just a really great D lineman from Ohio State. So for the Cowboys here, they really just need defensive guys. Their offense was really solid last year, so if they can boost up their defense even more, they'll be looking in good shape. And I think with this, they will take Akeem Mesidor. Now, it's really not likely that Akeem drops that far. In fact, I could see him being top 15, top 10 even. But for this mock draft, I just have him there. The Cowboys need an edge, and he would be the perfect guy for them. Now for the Steelers, I did give them Jordan Tyson in my last mock draft, but I did forget they got Michael Pittman Jr. and DK Metcalf. So I feel like their wide receiver room is pretty all-around solid. It depends on their QB. I do not think they will take a QB in the first round. They could, but that's not their biggest need. So I'm going to have to take Spencer Faniel from Utah. Same with the Chargers here. They could use some defensive guys, but most importantly, that O-line is atrocious. Justin Herbert's getting killed constantly, especially against the Patriots this past playoffs. So Caden Proctor is the best available O-lineman. I feel like he could be moved if necessary. But yeah, for me, the Eagles, this is a very easy pick. Lane Johnson replacement, Blake Miller to the Eagles. I think literally everyone, all these other mock drafts I've seen, they have him going to the Eagles, and I agree. I think that's their best pick to be looking for a Lane Johnson replacement. Now the Browns, this is their second pick in round 1, pick 24. I had them getting Carno Tate at 6 because I know they're really high on him. So I think now they could go anyway here. Here they could go Max. I'm not going to try to say his last name because I butchered it last time. They could use just another guard, another wide receiver, another guard. I think between Emmanuel Pregnon here or Max, I think the best option for them here would be go Max. He's the higher ranked player. I think Emmanuel Pregnon is a very good guard, but he's more like a very beginning of second round pick, if anything. Maybe the first pick in the second round by the Cardinals, I believe. So yeah, Max is going to be their best pick here. For the Bears, they could use another center, D lineman, safety. Keldrick Falk would be a good pick for them. Cassius Howell, TJ Parker. But I'm between these two guys right here, Caleb Banks and Peter Woods. I'm both really high on these guys. Caleb Banks has a bit of an injury history, I believe. Peter Woods, really good with that Clemson team. So I think they're just going to take the best player available for what they need, and that's going to be Peter Woods for them. Now for the Bills, they could use another guard, a D lineman, linebacker, safety, basically a bunch of defensive stuff. Definitely a receiver. I think with them getting DJ Moore, and now they have Keon Coleman, along with Khalil Shakir, that's a pretty solid wide receiver room for Josh Allen to work with, I feel like. Because I know in my last mock draft, I think I had them taking Denzel Boston. But for this one, I think their best pick is going to be CJ Allen from Georgia. Now the 49ers, probably the most injured team ever. I mean, literally everyone is always injured on that team. There's always one or two of their star players, maybe even three at a time, always being out for them. So they could go at edge, they could go safety, guard, tackle. I think they'll go Cassius Howell here, the best available edge player in my opinion. The Texans, really great defense last year, probably one of the best along with the Seahawks. Offense definitely lost them a couple games, and I think eventually had them lose in the playoffs because they did not perform where they needed to with that really great defense. But again, they could always use more D linemen. That was probably their weakest point on their defense, if anything. So I'm going to have them take Christian Miller here. Now the Chiefs, they got this pick from the Rams for Trent McDuffie. So they could use a lot of guys here. Mekhi Lemon would really do well for them. Or an edge like Keldrick Falk, TJ Parker, Omar Cooper. I just feel like Omar Cooper Jr. will be a Chief. So for their second pick, I'm going to have them taking them. The Dolphins, here's their second pick of the first round. They could use another wide receiver, guard, DB. Tyreek Hill, I think he's probably going to get to another team or just straight up retire. And Jalen Waddle recently went to the Broncos, which is kind of a big loss for them because I think their only star offensive player is Devon Achane. So with that, I think they're going to take Mekhi Lemon here at the 30th. Now the Patriots, they had a really good team last year. A lot of people talked about their scheduling super easy, and that's why they won so many games. That could be true, and I think kind of is. But also, you can't ignore the fact that they had a super good, well-rounded team. Their defense was really good. Now there are rumors that A.J. Brown is a Patriot or will be a Patriot after the draft. I kind of believe that as well. So I think I'm just gonna have them taking Caleb Banks here. That's gonna be their best pick. Seahawks, they could go with a running back. Jadarian Price is probably the second best running back. Funny, they're both out of Notre Dame with Jeremiah Love. There's not a lot of good running backs in this draft, I feel like, but they lost a lot of good guys in that defensive front. So I think they're gonna take TJ Parker here. That's gonna be their best pick. So here's my entire mock draft 2.0. Looks pretty good, but of course tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST, I'll be live and I'll be doing my 3.0 with all 7 rounds. So it's this round, but 7 times. So I hope you guys join me there. Anyways, see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.